morning, students of class 4th. Students, we have completed lesson 1, The Clever Jackal of your Wordsworth English Reader book. And I'm sure everybody must have written the word meanings, question and answers, make sentences, exercise, grammar exercise, and creative writing section of lesson 1. Students, please complete lesson 1 and start learning it. Please read the lesson again and again so that you comprehend the exercises in a better manner. Now, today I'll be continuing with lesson 2, Mayur the Peacock. I have already explained lesson 2, Mayur the Peacock. Those of you who have the book, please turn to page number 8 of your Wordsworth English Reader book. Now, students, before I start with the comprehension of lesson 2, I would like to read the lesson loudly for you so that you improve your pronunciations and do not make mistakes while reading the lesson. After reading, I'll be summarizing the story once again and then I'll be starting with the exercises. So please listen to me carefully. Mayur the Peacock. Mayur was a peacock. He lived in Pakshi Vihar, but he kept to himself most of the time. He thought of his looks all day. He never got tired of admiring his beautiful plumage. Once he had noticed a tourist combing a hair, and he had loved the idea of maintaining his plumage all the time. Thus he had made a comb with a few sticks and carried it everywhere he went. He used it so often that it had almost become toothless now. He sometimes wished he had a mirror to admire himself in, but then he reasoned to himself that at least he could see himself in the clear water of the pond. Every day he strutted down to the pond, opened his tail wide, and gazed at himself. What a beautiful bird I am, he would exclaim. Then he would take out his comb and start preening again. The other birds were tired of asking him to join them in their games. Hans, the handsome heron, called out to him one day and said, "Shut your tail and play water polo with us." "No, thank you," said Mayur. "My feathers will get wet and smelly." He then continued to comb his hair. Another time, a brood of ducklings begged Mayur to be their goalkeeper till the time being their original goalkeeper, the duck, arrived. At first, Mayur was shocked at such a suggestion, but the ducklings begged him to play with them, so he agreed reluctantly. He didn't like his job though. Each time the ball hit his tail, it flattened his feathers. He left the goal wide open every time and rushed to the pond to see how badly his feathers had been damaged. He brushed his feathers all afternoon till they shone again. "I look smarter than ever," he thought to himself. All the other birds were tired of his behavior. They could never make Mayur join in any of their games. One morning, Mayur woke up with the first rays of the sun. He made a dash for the pond as usual to admire himself in the crystal clear water. However, something unexpected happened. Somebody had eaten a banana and had accidentally thrown away the banana peel on the ground. Mayur slipped on the banana peel and fell down. He slid right down the bank into the pond with a big splash. All the other birds watched in silence, wondering how Mayur would react. To their astonishment, instead of being angry, Mayur was actually enjoying the water. The banana skin slide was fantastic. I never knew I could whiz so fast. This water feels wonderful. I must take a dip more often. The other birds could hardly believe their ears. What about your tail, Mayur? The heron asked. But Mayur wasn't listening. He was busy splashing around in the water. As he was playing, Mayur realized his foolishness. He decided to stop thinking about his looks so much and start playing and enjoying like other birds. All the other birds were very happy. At last, Mayur had stopped thinking about his appearance. He had realized the fun and enjoying the simple pleasures of life. He now played with the other birds and had a lot of fun. Students, this story was about a peacock whose name was Mayur. Now, as explained earlier, Mayur was a self centered and selfish peacock. He always was bothered about himself only, just bothered about his uh, good looks, how attractive he was. He always ignored what other people suggested or advised him. And just because of his selfish behavior and self centered nature, most of the time he used to be alone only. He used to not mix with other people. So he was alone, and if you are alone, you don't mix with other people, you tend to miss the small happiness of life. These small things fills your life with joy and pleasure. So Mayur was extremely conscious about his good looks and used to keep on admiring his feathers whole day. And just because of this, he was left alone and he didn't enjoy the small pleasures of life. When other birds tried to uh, make him join in their games, he used to blankly refuse to them. He never tried to come off of his comfort zone. So he missed the small pleasures of life. Now I'll summarize the story. Now, Mayur was a peacock. He lived in Pakshi Vihar with other birds. But then he was not at all friendly with other birds. A whole day he kept on admiring his beautiful plumage, feathers, and then thinking how beautiful he was. And whole day he used to keep on maintaining his feathers so that they don't get dirty. Now, one day he had noticed a tourist. A tourist is a person who visits another place to see uh, the other place. And here the tourist went to see Pakshi Vihar, where the birds were kept. So, Mayur noticed that the tourist used a comb to brush her hair. So, immediately he also got the idea that even I can use a comb to clean my plumage. So, what he did, he made a comb for himself with sticks, tying the sticks, and wherever he went, whole I mean everywhere he carried the comb along with himself and always kept on cleaning his feathers. Now he cleaned the feathers so often that the comb had become toothless. Fine. And then used to often think, I wish I had a mirror so that I could admire my beauty in the mirror. But then he used to satisfy himself that, oh, what if I don't have a mirror? I can always go to the water of the pond in Pakshi Vihar, and in the water I can see my reflection and I can see how beautiful I am. He had a very superior complex that he was extremely beautiful, better than other birds. and other birds wanted him to join them in their games, but then he refused. So uh, once what happened, Hans, a handsome heron, he told Mayur that instead of admiring yourself, you shut your tail and come and play water polo with us, means the other birds. Mayur blankly refused that, no thank you, I don't want to play any game with you. Now if I play water polo with you, what will happen? I've got beautiful plumage, and in water while playing water polo, my feathers will become wet and they will smell, and if they become wet, he was sure that they would become dirty and they will not be beautiful, so he refused. Then once a brood of ducklings, fine, they requested Mayur, they pleaded, Ki Mayur, we have a goalkeeper, we are playing a game, and Duck is the goalkeeper, but for the time being, till the time she has gone, you just for the time be our goalkeeper. Mayur was shocked at first that how come they know that I don't join them in their games, and how did they ask me? But then they pleaded, they requested him so much that unwillingly, without wanting to join, he joined them. And every time the ball used to hit his feathers, it used to flatten his feather. So, what he used to do, without bothering for the ball that the team would secure a goal, he used to leave the goal open and rush to the pond to see how badly his feathers had been damaged. And that day he was so conscious that today to my after playing with the brood of ducklings, my feathers have flattened and I need to brush them. So he brushed them so much that they begin to shine, and he thought, he was happy कि they are shining more, they are gleaming more. And then he kept on brushing his feathers. Then all the birds were fed up of his behavior. They knew that he's a self-centered person, he'll never mix up and play with us. So now they were tired. Says, let him do whatever he wants, we are not bothered about him. But one day something different happened, which nobody could believe. Early in the morning, as the sun rose and the first rays of the sun appeared, so Mayur rushed towards the pond to admire his beauty in the crystal clear water. But then he was in a hurry. He was so much in a hurry that somebody had eaten a banana and thrown the peel on the ground. Mayur, out of his haste, did not even bother that to look that there was a banana peel on the way to the pond. So he slipped, and he slipped, and he slid uh, uh, with such a speed that he landed in the pond with a big splash. That is the chapa. Huh? And now the other birds were thinking, now so he never goes into the water. Now what will be his reaction? They were very much puzzled. They were thinking within themselves, now so he never went inside the water, and to the he had a fall and he has slipped into the water. But what happened? They thought, now so he'll be furious, he'll be filled with anger once he comes out of the water. But to their surprise, what happened? Instead of getting angry, Mayur was actually enjoying the water. He was splashing in the water because he had never experienced that fun before. It was uh, it is so much pleasure playing in the water, isn't it? If you happen to go in a pool and then you splash water and you enjoy so much, you don't want to come out of the water. Same way, Mayur had never experienced, because he was extremely conscious about his feathers, that they'll get wet and smelly and dirty. So he never went. But now, to the much surprise of other birds, rather than getting angry and furious, he was splashing and enjoying the water. And then when Heron asked him, Ki Mayur, how about your tail? Huh? Mayur though wasn't at all listening to what Heron was saying. He was busy enjoying himself in the water. Then he was thinking within himself that, I mean, now to I'll often come and take a dip in the water, and I'll also play, because now these small things fill your life with so much of joy and happiness. But if you don't experience them, you will miss so many things. So he decided that now today onwards, I will often take a dip in the pool, and I will also play with other birds. And hence he changes behavior, and then he thought that now I will not be bothered about my appearance. And then he had realized that real fun is enjoying these small things of life, like playing with your friends, splashing in the water, isn't it? And then he became friendly with all the other birds. He was a completely changed bird. So students, hope you all have enjoyed the story and understood it. And the lesson we learn from this story is that outer appearance doesn't matter. Our inner self should be beautiful, and uh, we are all of us are beautiful in our own ways, and when we are happy, we are more beautiful. So children, enjoy the small pleasures of life rather than being deprived of them. Try to derive fun from little things of in life. So now I'll read the new words coming in the lesson once again, so that their pronunciation is again clear to you. Now, the first, please turn on to page number 8. The first word is admiring. My first word is admiring. Admiring means appreciating. When you praise somebody, that is admire, isn't it? Now, my second word is plumage. Plumage means the feathers of bird. The arrangement of feathers, the whole feathers are known as plumage. Third word is maintaining. Maintaining means continuing to look after something. Continuing to look after something. Uh, to keep something in proper condition, good condition, you need to maintain it. Now, my fourth word is reasoned. Reason means gave suitable reasons about something that is well thought of. Then, my fifth word is strutted. Strutted means to walk in a proud way with one's back straight head up. And this is the way we walk when we are proud and confident. We walk in this manner when we want to show off. Now, my sixth word is gazed. Gazed means stared or looks fixedly, which also means that you look at something or somebody for a long time. You keep on looking at the thing continuously. That is gazed. Then, seventh word is exclaim. Exclaim means to shout in excitement or happiness. You, when you are extremely happy, uh, and you can't hide your feelings or emotions, so you scream, and that screaming of surprise and happiness is known as exclaim. Next is preening. Preening means cleaning the feathers with the beak. Cleaning the feathers with the beak. It is an effort to make oneself look more attractive and neat. My ninth word is handsome. My ninth word is handsome. Handsome means good looking. And remember, children, this word is used for a masculine gender only. It is used with men and boys. And for female, feminine gender, for girls and women, we use beautiful. But handsome is used only for masculine gender. Next word is water polo. Water polo is a game played in water with a ball. Next word is flattened. Flattened. Last word of page number 9. Flatten means to become flat. Flatten means to become flat. When you uh, have a fall, you fall down, you are flat on the ground. Now, next page. The 12th word is accidentally. Accidentally means by chance, not intentionally, but accidentally. Suppose you are going and you never thought that you meet somebody. When by chance, if you meet somebody, that is accidentally you met that person. Next, 13th word is slid. Slid. Slid means slipped. When you lose your balance and you trip down, that is known as slid. Now, 14th word is astonishment. Astonishment means surprise. Astonishment means surprise. Like I was astonished to see a zebra in Sarnath Zoo. That was a surprise. So you never expected that you'll see a zebra in Sarnath. So that was a surprise for you. Then 15th word is whiz. Whiz is to move quickly through the air with a whistling or buzzing sound. That is you whiz. Mayur had whizzed in the pond. Now we'll go through the meaning of phrases. Our first phrase is given on page number 8. That is, keep to himself. Keep to himself means to spend a lot of time alone without talking to other people. You're not bothered about others. You are just busy with your own self. You don't want to mix up with other people. That is, keep to himself. Here we are talking about Mayur. So, it is keep to himself. Now, the second phrase is given on page number at the bottom of page number 9. Made a dash. Made a dash means ran quickly towards something. When you rush towards something, you run quickly. So that is known as made a dash. The police made a dash towards the thief. The police ran quickly to catch the thief. Now students, we'll start with the comprehension. That is, answer the following questions briefly. Now, our first question is, how did Mayur spend all his time? How did Mayur spend all his time? So, as read in the story, answer will be, please listen to my answer carefully. Mayur kept to himself most of the time. Mayur kept to himself most of the time. He full stop. He thought of his looks all day. He thought of his looks all day. Full stop. He always admired his beautiful plumage. He always admired his beautiful plumage. Full stop. Again, I'm repeating the question and answer. Please listen to me carefully. How did Mayur spend all his time? Answer is, Mayur kept to himself most of the time. He thought of his looks all day. He always admired his beautiful plumage. Again, I'm repeating the answer. Mayur kept to himself most of the time. He thought of his looks all day. He always admired his beautiful plumage. Now, let's move on to the second question. What had Mayur made? What did he use it for? Now let's try to recall the story. Mayur had seen a tourist using what? A comb. So he made a comb for himself with sticks. And what did he use it for? He used it for combing his plumage. So answer will be, Mayur had made a comb with a few sticks. He used it for combing his plumage. Again, I'm repeating the answer. Mayur had made a comb with a few sticks. He used it for combing his plumage. Mayur had made a comb with a few sticks, full stop. He used it for combing his plumage, full stop. Now, the third question is, how did the other birds feel about Mayur? How did the other birds feel about Mayur? Now, as we know in the lesson that Mayur was very self-centered. He never mixed up with other birds. So, the ants or the other birds were fed up of his behavior. They had left Mayur at his own self. Now the answer will be the other birds were tired of his behavior. The other birds were tired of his behavior. They could never make Mayur join in any of their games. They could never make Mayur join in any of their games. Again, I'm repeating the answer. Please listen to it. How did the other birds feel about Mayur? The other birds were tired of his behavior. They could never make Mayur join in any of their games. The other birds were tired of his behavior. They could never make Mayur join in any of their games. Now, question number 4. What did Hans ask Mayur to do? Who was Hans? Hans was the handsome heron. But then, like Mayur, he was not bothered about his looks. He used to enjoy with other birds as well, isn't it? So, what did Hans ask Mayur to do? Answer will be Hans asked Mayur to shut his tail and play water polo with them. Hans asked Mayur to shut his tail and play water polo with them. Hans asked Mayur to shut his tail and play water polo with them. Now, question number 5. Was Mayur a good goalkeeper? Why? If you say he's a good goalkeeper, you need to give reasons why he was a good goalkeeper. And if you say why not, that means he was not a good goalkeeper. Then you need to give reasons that why he was not a good goalkeeper. So whatever your opinion after reading and understanding the story, on the basis of your opinion, the answer will be framed. But as in the story, the brood of ducklings, they had pleaded Mayur to play to be their goalkeeper just for the time being till the original goalkeeper, that was the duck, would return back. Mayur didn't want to join, but they pleaded him so much that he reluctantly agreed and became the goalkeeper. Then what was happening? Every time the ball used to stuck his feather, it used to flatten it, and each time he used to leave the goal and rush towards the pond to see how much his feathers had been damaged. So this shows that he wasn't a good goalkeeper. So the answer would be Mayur was not a good goalkeeper because each time when the ball hit his tail, comma, it flattened his feathers. Full stop. He left the goal wide open every time and rushed to the pond to see how badly his feathers had been damaged. Again, I'm repeating. Mayur was not a good goalkeeper because each time when the ball hit his tail, it flattened his feathers. He left the goal wide open every time and rushed to the pond to see how badly his feathers had been damaged. Now let's come on to our last question, that is the sixth question. What happened when Mayur slipped on the banana skin? Now all the birds were wondering that now Mayur has slipped and fell in the pond with a splash. Now he'll be furious because every time he used to avoid water. That water will make his feathers dirty, smelly. So they were all wondering, now what will be Mayur's reaction. But To their utter surprise, astonishment, Mayur was enjoying rather than getting annoying. He was enjoying the water. So our answer will be when Mayur slipped on the banana skin, comma, he fell down and slid into the pond with a big splash. Full stop. But instead of being angry, he enjoyed it. The banana skin slide was a fantastic experience for Mayur. Again, I'm repeating the answer. When Mayur slipped on the banana skin, he fell down and slid into the pond with a big splash. But instead of being angry, he enjoyed it. The banana skin slide was a fantastic experience for Mayur. Fantastic means something very good, something wonderful, something extremely good. That is known as fantastic. So, again, I'll repeat all the question and answers. Please listen to me carefully. First question. How did Mayur spend all his time? Answer 1. Mayur kept to himself most of the time. He thought of his looks all day. He always admired his beautiful plumage. Question number 2. What had Mayur made? What did he use it for? Answer number 2. Mayur had made a comb with a few sticks. He used it for combing his plumage. Question number 3. How did the other birds feel about Mayur? Answer number 3. The other birds were tired of his behavior. They could never make Mayur join in any of their games. Question number 4. What did Hans ask Mayur to do? Answer. Hans asked Mayur to shut his tail and play water polo with them. Question number 5. Was Mayur a good goalkeeper? Why or why not? Children, remember, if your answer is yes, you have to give reason why he was a good goalkeeper. And if your answer is no, you need to give a reason why he wasn't a good goalkeeper. So, but since we know from the story that every time the ball used to hit his tail, used to leave the goal wide open and used to rush towards the pond to see how much his father had been damaged. That this shows that he wasn't a good goalkeeper. So answer 5 is Mayur was not a good goalkeeper because each time when the ball hit his tail, it flattened his feathers. He left the goal wide open every time and rushed to the pond to see how badly his feathers had been damaged. Now, last question number 6. What happened when Mayur slipped on the banana skin? This is the turning point of the story, isn't it? Which this part of the story had changed Mayur's behavior. So the answer would be when Mayur slipped on the banana skin, he fell down and slid into the pond with a big splash. But instead of being angry, he enjoyed it. The banana skin slide was a fantastic experience for Mayur. Now, students, please listen to me carefully. Today, in your notebooks, please write these question and answers and start learning them and try to read the lesson again and again so that you comprehend the exercise in a better manner.